Okay, this is my Auralian control list. Tuned this a little bit on my stream, and it actually did pretty well. I think I dropped like 3 games and I won a whole bunch more. I'll show that after I go through all the cards. We're using Ephemeral Wisp as Ransack fodder. And we also have Send a Message to Ransack. If your opponent's playing Zito, you can just kind of discard this for free. Wisp does a good job of buying you time against aggro. Wisp also is kind of fun because we're playing for End of an Era. So one of the things that's cool about Wisp is if they're not silencing it, or if they like don't give it Void Bound, it's just gonna keep coming back. So like if you get 2 or wisps, like 1 or 2 wisps ticking around, maybe your opponent has a relic, maybe you have an Amber Accolade in play, it's gonna get a lot easier to get the Dezo's Office off of End of an Era. Like if we weren't playing the wisp, it would be really hard to get there. That combined with how much stalling and life it can gain you against aggro kind of makes Wisp earn its slot. Other than that, Amber Acolyte is just kind of good fixing. You can play it, it can block, it can get torched or something, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. Like, we could play like Seek Power in this slot, but Seek Power doesn't block, so I prefer Amber Acolyte. In the mid game, you're going to have a lot of empty turns where you're just trying to stall while you try and like bait your opponent into playing more crap on the board for you to board wipe away. And Amber Acolyte is one of those good things that just like fills the gap and either takes a card out of your opponent's hand to clear the blocker, or will trade with something, which is great, or just chump block something, which is also fine. Quinn, just, you know what Quinn does. The theme of this deck is to win with our opponent's cards. So Quinn will steal cards, Mindbreaker's Staff steal cards, and Ransack steals cards. So between these kind of like, this package of like 10 cards, we can just take crap off of our opponent's deck, which is pretty funny in a meta where revenge is popular, and just Warcry is a thing. So we can like take our opponent's buffed thing. I've had my opponents play like Inferno Phoenix against me, buff the crap out of the top unit of their deck, and I just like ransack both of them and kill them with it. Like it, you go like Vara's Favor Ransack, and then they concede. It's pretty amusing. Mindbreaker's Staff is hilarious against the Zindel. If they have a Zindel in their deck and they let you flip a Mindbreaker's Staff, they won't get a period at all where they can react to a Zindel in any meaningful way. Like, it will just flip immediately and you'll play your card and you'll play their card. Now, there's always the chance that you flip one of your board wipes and whatever, but more often than not, that doesn't happen. Other interesting cards in the deck, because I don't really think I have a need to just explain good removal, like Saloon Massacre is insane removal, Victimless Crimes just pretty efficient, Wisdom of Elders draws us stuff, makes sure we're hitting our power drops, End of an Era. This card's really good against the 2/2. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. League Explorer? League Explorer puts a bunch of relics on their face, and usually they're playing a lot of aggro. So if they don't just like kill you before you get to 5 power, you're basically all but guaranteed to flip a Dezo's Office against them. And after you've just wiped their board, 2 turns later, you've got like a big removal spell coming down, and giving lifesteal to any units you've stolen or any of your little crappers that you have in play. Send a Message, fantastic card to follow up board wipes with, and it's also good with Ransack. Especially since, like, against some decks, you're just going to be slamming the Wisp as soon as you've got the power for it, just to buy yourself life and time. The Send a Messages might be sticking around in your hand a bit more, and if you've got 4 power, you can Ransack and slam a Send a Message after a board wipe, and that's just a super efficient, like, 5-for-1 or whatever. that just takes over the game if you can pull it off. Eileen's Favor gives Aegis. I could play like a Seek Power in this slot, but I found Aegis is good against like enemy Quins and just other random crap, so it's also good against like League Explorer. Maybe it just takes a torch, but that's fine. You know, Aegis is just surprisingly good, and we want to hit our power drops, so it's good for that. Var's Favor, maybe this kills a Houndmaster or something, or there's that stupid bow that Stone Scar aggro has. It's good against that. And other than that, interesting stuff. Night Dojo. This is basically just a film blueprints that our opponent has to attack or ping. So if they choose to ignore it and they don't just kill you, Rindra will, like, they can't let you have the Rindra. So eventually they're going to have to deal with it. And if they don't have an efficient answer, that means wasting an entire turn attacking your Night Dojo. And that turn can be super precious for a control deck. Oftentimes, like, sometimes on like turn 3 or turn 4, I'll just slam this, not expecting it to live. And I'll get my blueprints, and it puts my opponent in the spot of like, do I take a turn off from attacking their face to kill this dojo and stop them from like casting Abduct? Or do I attack it and take the value line and like make sure this is gone? So it forces your opponent to commit to either killing you before like it matters, or to just killing it to stop the value. And either way is good for us. So that's why I think Dojo earns its slot. It's only a 2 of. You could maybe play more, but I think Amber Acolyte's a little better. Like, potentially you could do like this if you want to, but I like how Amber Acolyte can block. So it's kind of up to you. Mindbreaker's Staff, I talked about that. Davia is just good. I really shouldn't have to explain Davia, but it's really soul-crushing for your opponent when they've got one spell in hand and one unit on the board, and you like Davia out a send a message. I've seen so many people concede when I do that. And Curiox is a 6-drop win con that draws 3. So I really shouldn't have to say much about that. It blocks just about everything in the format. It attacks well. It draws 3. Yeah, Curiox earns its slot. I actually crafted the premiums. It's pretty sick. So for the power base, pretty straightforward. Just kind of like a good smattering of seats and sigils just to guarantee that we're hitting untapped power. Tome is nice for guaranteeing untapped power. I cut 2 Seed of Cunning so that I could have some banners, just to guarantee some more time mana, so that early on we can consistently play Wisps and Acolytes, and make sure we have our splash for end of an era, basically. So that's the list. I don't know what I changed, but whatever. And as you can see, I've done pretty well with it. I've lost 3 games, and I just won a whole bunch. So, pretty sick.